Hey guys, Nick Dooley here, founder of Store Census. Today I want to show you how to set up an automation for your Shopify application so you can get installs while you sleep. So we're going to come over to the new automations page. Now an automation tracks the changes of a Shopify store. So now imagine if you knew every time a Shopify store uninstalled your competitor's app. Now that would be pretty powerful, right? If a Shopify store uninstalls an app, it's usually because they're dissatisfied with something. It could be the functionality, maybe it was missing something they needed, or it just didn't meet the expectations that they had for the application when they installed it. So anyway, let's dive in here and I'll show you what this is all about, and I think you'll understand it better. So I'm going to go ahead and click on apps. You can read right here, it says trigger when stores install or uninstall Shopify apps. So this will allow us to track when a specific app is uninstalled. So I'm going to select the event here. I'm going to use order tracking applications as an example. So I'm going to select the order tracking category, and I'm going to select some of the top order tracking applications that a lot of Shopify stores have installed, one of them being 17Track. AfterShip is another one. And I think that'll be enough just for this example. So you see I have two apps selected. Let's continue. Now, these are filters. Maybe you want stores that are in a certain vertical. For example, you can select beauty and personal care, maybe fashion and apparel, right? So if those two applications were uninstalled and those stores fall into these two categories, it would continue with the automation. So now the question is, what do we want to do when the stores meet our criteria? One of those two applications were installed. They are in the two verticals that we selected. Now, what do we want to do? We can add it to a list in Store Census and we can interact with it later on, or we can send it to Zapier, which allows us to perform all types of automations. You can have it send an email, you can send it to Google Sheets for organization purposes, or maybe you have a CRM that you want to import the data into. It's very versatile, so I'm going to show you how to set that up today. So you can see we have clear instructions here. So you create a new Zap in Zapier. So I'm going to go over to Zapier.com and I'm going to set this up and we'll get into it. So I'm already logged in. This is the default homepage. I'm going to come up here and click Create, Zaps. And then I'm going to choose a trigger. And I'm going to come over to here, which is the webhook trigger. Webhooks by Zapier. Okay. Now we want to click trigger event and we're going to click on catch hook. And then we're going to, let me bring this over here. We're going to click continue. We're going to click continue. And I can see it's set up. We're going to copy this webhook URL. And we're going to go back over to Store Census. You can see we perform these actions. We create a new Zap. We chose Webhooks by Zapier as the trigger, and we selected Catch Hook as the event, and then we copied the webhook URL provided. So I'm going to paste that in here, and I'm going to test it. Now I'm going to come back over to Zapier. I'm going to click on Test Trigger, just so we can get in here, and you can see this is the request that I just sent over when I clicked on Test. So let's check it out. It sends over test data. You can see that we have all these variables available that we can then further pass along in our Zapier automation flow. Anyway, let's continue and I'll just get into it. Let's click continue with selected record. Now we are going to choose an action. And for demonstration purposes, I want to show you how to send an email. So let's click on Gmail. This is my personal account that I already have linked up. It's actually telling me that I need to reconnect it, so let's do that really quickly. It's pretty simple. Let's click continue, select all, continue. All right, my account is resynced. So let's see, what do we have? I want to send an email. So let's search here, send email, continue. I want to send it to the preferred email that is coming in here. Let's see. So you can see these are the available variables that came in from our test data. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click on the preferred email. The preferred email is the best email for that specific store. So it's typically the founder or decision maker. Anyway, let's continue here. Send message to Google Contacts. Nope. We are going to have from our email address. I'm going to put my name here. The reply to I don't think we have to fill this out, but maybe we should just put it in just in case. If they want to reply, I think it should go to our actual email. Now, this is the fun part. The subject should be uninstalled, and I'm going to put the app name. So if you look here, this is actually an event that was sent over from another example. So you will see we have the variable names here. And I'm just going to show you, see we have the preferred email here. But we also have one called app name, which is right here. So we can be sure that if we put the app name here, it will replace it with the app name once the data comes in. Okay, we want to always keep this as plain text email. We do not want to use HTML. You can, but the rule of thumb is that your deliverability will be a lot worse. Anyway, I'm going to expand this and I'm going to show you. I wrote an example email here that I'm going to paste in. You can write whatever you want. I believe this template is a good starting point. Let's go ahead and replace some of these variable names. So it'll be app name here. This will be the uninstalled app, right? Just like we have here. And then this will be our app name. Let's call it advanced order app. No, let's call it advanced order. This is our hypothetical example. Doesn't actually exist. Let's do it again here, advanced order. So you can see here it says, hi, I see you recently uninstalled app name, right? That could be 17 track, so let's read it as that. I see you recently uninstalled 17 track, probably because the tracking order page is outdated and does not support some of the top shipping carriers. A lot of stores in the same niche have switched over to using advanced order app instead because it has a cleaner design and supports all major shipping carriers. Customers absolutely love it, and stores tell us their support tickets have dropped noticeably. It's available on the Shopify app market. Just search for advanced order. Let me just break this email down. So we're calling out something that they're going to identify with, right? This is a hook right here. I see you recently uninstalled app name. They recently did that, so they will identify with that, and they'll be intrigued to continue reading. So that's a good opener. Then we are pointing out the problems with our competitor's app, right? You probably don't want to lie. You probably want to identify some shortcomings that your application is superior in. So for example, if they are missing or they do not support some of the top shipping carriers and yours does, well, that would be a good thing to point out. Anyway, then we go in and we add some social credibility and we say, oh, a lot of other stores have switched over to using our app instead because we do support all the shipping carriers. Oh, and by the way, customers absolutely love it. And there's also another bonus here. Their support tickets have dropped noticeably. And then we have our call to action. This is important. At the end of an email, you always need a call to action. We say it's available on the Shopify app market. Just search for advanced order. So it tells them to go to the marketplace and search for it. We do not want to include links. They will get banned very fast, and your email will start hitting the spam folder. So it's counterintuitive. I have found from my own experience that just putting in the app's name is sufficient. People will actually navigate to the Shopify app marketplace and search your application down and install it. Anyway, let's continue here. We have all of the required fields, so we will now click continue. You can see here, send message to Gmail. Everything looks good. You want to make sure everything looks good here. Let's skip for now. Skip test. Publish. Okay, this account on Zapier is not a paid account, so because webhooks are premium, you do need to have a subscription, the very basic one. But anyway, so now you can see here okay, so we have our Zapier set up here. I don't think I can publish it because it's a premium, but if you had a subscription or a trial, you would be able to publish this and you would see it available. Anyway, now what we want to do is we want to go back over to Store Census and we're going to click continue. And you will be able to review your automation. This is a summary page. I'm going to name it Order Tracking Uninstall Automation. Okay. Now it tells you when 17 track order tracking or after ship are uninstalled and they meet this condition, they're in the beauty and personal care or fashion and apparel vertical, then it will continue down to the action and send that store information to Zapier, where then Zapier will receive it and then send an email that we set up directly to that store. So anyway, let's create the automation. It's created successfully. Let's go to automations. You will now see that it is active and it tells us exactly what it's going to do. It's waiting for the first event. You will be able to view event history when it detects stores that meet our criteria. You can also pause it. You can also edit if you need to change anything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this opens your eyes that you can have an automation flow literally working on your behalf every day, all day, even while you're asleep, getting installs for your Shopify application at the perfect moment. Anyway, that wraps it up. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at nick@storecensus.com. Have a great day.